In over 20 years of coaching, one of the most powerful questions that I found, what else are you feeling? In this episode, I want to share a little bit about why that question is so powerful and the neuroscience that makes it significant. And then I want to share some strategies with you of how you can use this question yourself and with others. Before her untimely death, I was talking to Dr. Candace Pert, the pioneering neurobiologist who was one of our advisory board members, about emotions and how these little chemicals affect literally every living cell in our bodies. And we don't just have one set of emotion chemicals at a time. They're produced in our brains, but they're also produced all over our bodies. And these chemicals are running around regulating us, helping us to adapt to the environment, helping us to pay attention to what matters, helping us survive and thrive. And because of this neurobiological process, we literally have dozens or maybe even hundreds of different emotion chemicals at any given time. And you can imagine them like little advisors running around saying, hey, did you notice this? Look at this. Pay attention to this. Here's a threat. Here's an opportunity. Get ready. And as we engage in this plurality of emotions, and we look at not just the loud emotions on the surface, but the multiple layers of feelings that we have in a given moment, it deepens our insight. And it helps us see more and more and more of what we're perceiving. More and more of the threats. More and more of the opportunities. So what can you do with this question? Well, if you're a coach or a friend or a parent or a manager, you can ask people. Don't just say, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Say, what are some of your feelings? What else are you feeling? What else is going on for you? And create space. The surface answer, it's not the real answer. We're going to put instructions for this activity below, and what I'd like you to do is try it out and then put in the comments your experience of what happens and what you'd like to know more about as we continue to grow and practice emotional intelligence together. When I was a child, my grandmother was an art therapist in New York, and she showed me this technique that I didn't realize the power of then. She had me take a roll of paper and some colored pencils and just start coloring. Just start filling in that paper and letting it unroll. Now you can just do it with a regular old piece of paper. Scrap paper works perfectly. And you just start coloring and you're saying, well, what am I feeling? And if it's an intense feeling, you might put a lot of color and a lot of sharpness in the lines and a lot of weight, and you might really fill up the page with it. You don't have to even identify what that feeling word is, but if you can identify it, it becomes more clear. I'm feeling worried, and there's big worry, and there's small worries. And then hiding behind that, maybe I'm feeling a little hope, and maybe that's lighter colored. Maybe it's sort of skating across the surface, and maybe underneath that is some more fear, and maybe some opportunities, and maybe some gratitude, and maybe some wonder, and maybe some frustration and anger. All of these things can exist at the very same time. They don't cancel each other out. And this is at the heart of the work of emotional intelligence. Emotions are not antithetical. They're not matter and antimatter. They all can exist simultaneously. And as we develop and grow our emotional intelligence, we can tune into more and more of this rich and important data within ourselves and within each other, and that increases our understanding.